Yo, what is up, guys? Apparently I haven't posted in like 8 days. It really doesn't feel like that. But anyway, we're back. Today we've got Gigguk. He's back with the Isekai she tells you not to worry about. You know, man loves his Isekai. Let's check it out. Let's see what Isekai he's going to tell me to watch today.
This episode is sponsored by Tales of Luminaria. Tales of Luminaria is the latest
Right, sorry,
addition to the
Gigguk. We're just
Tales
going to
series.
skip this
Coming
ad.
straight any tense or prescription to bed. Let's get on with the video. Anime fans? Oh,
That's me.
Fucking losers.
Yep, that's me.
Great start. I'm sure lots of us weebs who got into anime and manga at an early age had a similar experience when it came to our schools or the kids around us. Some of us may have been ridiculed, some of us may have been told to grow up and stop watching cartoons, and some of us may have just been straight up bullied.
Still get
and
told that,
called
man.
Losers. We were outcasts of the social hierarchy, and if I'm being real, I think this is a big reason why power fantasy stories have seen the monumental success that they have. Wait, you're telling me this guy can beat up all the arrogant jocks and get all the chicks, and his secret OP talent is being a gamer? It's a shallow reason, but it's true.
Kirito,
We might not want to admit
fucking
it, but the
OG
viewership and
Chad,
sales
man.
numbers don't lie because we can't seem to stop fucking reading it. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, it's about time weebs got our spotlight as the most oppressed.
Real quick, I'm really excited for that new Sword Art Online movie coming out. I haven't even seen like Sword Art Alicization or anything, but I've seen the movies actually going back to Sword Art Online, and it's like covering just some shit we never saw back then. And I'm actually excited for that. I'm actually going to watch that because original just Sword Art Online, I really enjoyed.
Best group in the world over the current one. Gamers. The problem is that the
I really wish they just milked the fuck out of it. We got to see what, like 3 bosses out of 100 floors. We got to see 3 bosses. They put 100 floors into 12 episodes because they just skipped all of it. They could have just milked the fuck out of that. That easily could have been the next One Piece. They could have had 1,000 episodes just them going through all this world. And yeah, it would have gotten stale, so they would have like had to throw things in to mix it up and shit. But like,
it became so saturated,
it had so much potential, man.
To tell good power fantasy shows from bad
Like they were in a rush to get through Sword Art so they could go into Alpha. Like what?
power fantasy shows. Because they were all bad. When the industry realized that all it took was one self-insert protagonist put in some generic fantasy world, surrounded by a bunch of cardboard cutouts that were easily mistaken for women, they decided to make a lot. Nope, keep going. Like, a little more. There we go. Time to add these shows to the list of things I'm gonna watch before Fullmetal Alchemist. It got so bad that even me, the power fantasy isekai trash man, Grant UK, got bored of it. That is, until I started hearing whispers of this new webcomic called Solo.
Oh, is this solo
a series
leveling?
that had gained
Alright,
immense
this is where we're
popularity over
going.
the past few years that had put it.
I was actually at a Japanese bookstore literally yesterday, and I saw Solo Leveling. And I didn't know they sold, because this is the manhwa. I didn't know they sold them. Didn't know they sold them there. And yeah, so I was very tempted to fucking buy it and pick it up. But then I was like, shit, what if I don't like it? I may as well just like read at least the first chapters for free and, you know, see if I like it. But I've heard nothing but good things about it. So that's why I was actually tempted to just buy it there and then and just like, that way it would have forced me to read it. Because right now I've known about this for a while, but I'm just too lazy to actually start reading it. But I've heard nothing but good things about this. And from what I was flipping through the pages, it's all in color as well. Are the actual, for anyone that's read it, are they all in color, like every chapter that's out, or is this just like a special one they had for the printed version?
The 27th best manga of all time, according to Mao. The Power Fantasy series to end all Power Fantasy series. And you may be thinking, what revolutionary thing did this series do that no other series before it had done to make it?
I hope he doesn't like actually just spoil the thing. Like I don't mind like learning about it. I already know like a bit about it. I just don't want like spoilers.
Is that it? I thought we were building up to a bigger point. Solo Leveling, originally a Korean manhwa called... You know what? I'm not even gonna try. Look, I already butchered the Chinese words in the link click video, and now you expect me to speak fluent Squid Game?
Don't you ever call me that?
Strange gates to fantasy realms.
Was that the Squid Game dub?
Appear throughout our world, containing an array of powerful monsters and beings. Around the same time as this, select members of humanity
so it looks like
gained
it's in
various powers and used them to combat this ongoing threat. These people became known as hunters and grouped themselves in different guilds to team up to assault these gates, killing the monsters and farming the resources within. Like, you know, an MMO. The hero of our story, one Sung Jin Woo, is ranked one of the weakest hunters in all of Korea, even referred to by his peers as the
Hey, easy
literal
with that clip,
weakest
Gigguk.
hunter
You
in
might
the
get
world.
copyrighted.
Basically, just a little baby man.
Learned that the hard way.
Baby man. Little baby man.
However, one day upon his party entering a high-level dungeon by mistake, shit very much hits the fan as the monsters within them obliterate their entire party. Apart from the little baby man, of course.
Baby man.
Though he does die, he somehow managed to clear a secret set of trials within the dungeon and wakes up in a hospital bed after the incident with a unique ability to literally be able to level up. Full-blown fucking menus and inventory screens in front of him in the real world. Gaining experience and skill trees and all sorts of bullshit like, you know, an MMO. And so begins the rise of Sung Jin Woo, from being a little baby man to becoming an ooh baby.
I love shit like this, yeah, man. Look, I'm a sucker for progression like that. Like the little bitch boy that comes into like that ultimate fucking beast. I love that shit. And hey, everyone shits on My Hero. Like, yeah, Deku's not the fucking most fun protagonist to watch. But I still just love, you know, we saw him like a little quirkless little fucking bitch, and just those early episodes, like him training on the beach with All Might, and it's like doing actual like physical training and shit to get his body into shape to even like have a chance to be a hero. Shit like that I loved. You see that shot of him at the end of that training on the beach with All Might, cleaning up all the beach. He had like shredded abs. You saw he had definition on his biceps now. It was nice. I love shit like that.
This may sound very similar to your typical isekai power fantasy story, and if I'm being real, you're absolutely right. The series clearly borrows a lot of elements from the genre, even if it's not technically isekai.
So it's all in color, because these look like later chapters, so it doesn't look like just the
What I
first
think
few
really makes
chapters are in
solo
color.
leveling
So
work
is
that
all
it takes
manhwa
elements
just
from your
full color?
typical OP isekai power fantasy and adds an element from your typical popular shonen anime. You know, the other most popular genre in anime and manga. Hunters are power ranked from S to E, the main character is an underdog working his way up the rankings. Unlike a lot of power fantasy isekai, Sung Jin Woo doesn't instantaneously power up. When he reawakens, he is still an E-ranked hunter. He just has the ability to grind his level up, and oh boy, does he do some grinding. Sung Jin Woo, and only Sung Jin Woo, gets access to these special dungeons with high-level bosses and rare item drops. And of course, like any true gamer, you gotta do all the optional side quests so you're stupidly overpowered for the final boss.
Oh, of course.
You actually get to see his progression throughout the series. The man is constantly on the verge of death in these dungeons.
For anyone that's up to date, how long is this? Like,
But he gets
if I start
rewarded
now,
by the level he gains,
how long am I
the
in
weapon
for?
he acquires, and the abilities
I'm
he
very
develops.
interested. It looks
I
very
guess you
good.
could
I might
say
even just like stream, not stream, but like record
Hey,
myself
he
like
was
reacting to some of these chapters, man.
leveling up on his own. Wait a minute, that's not the title. What this means though is that it's just that much more satisfying when Sung Jin Woo goes back to the world to take on normal dungeons. Look, seeing someone almost fucking die and doing a life or death optional side dungeon several times above his level, only to go on and breeze through the main quest area to the amazement of others, struck a chord with me, alright? Because that's exactly how I play RPGs too.
Yep, same here.
Yes, it's a complete wish fulfillment.
If I get to a new
power
area, I've got to do all the side quests before I continue with the main story quest.
fantasy, but you know what?
And that's honestly what turns me off RPGs, because I'm like that. Like, I refuse to just play long RPGs at this point, because like, fuck, I have to do so many side quests. The easy option is to just ignore the side quests and do the main story, but I can't. I literally just can't.
At least it felt like he earned it. Look, I'm not going to
I'd rather just not play the game at all if that's
that the
means
world
what's
isn't
gonna
stupidly
happen.
stacked in
It's
his favor,
bad.
though. He is the only hunter who was able to level up while everyone else can only remain at the power level they were given when they first became hunters. I repeat, he has the ability to power up while everyone in the world is at a fixed level cap. That's like having the ability to take a shower when everyone around you is at an anime convention. He gets so stupid. Shower OP. He gets so stupidly overleveled that he can outdo anyone in their specialized role. He's a mage, fighter, tank, assassin, healer combo. So he's basically just as toxic as Season 10 Ornn from League of Legends. But that's
Oh,
not even
yes.
his main ability. Eventually he gains the ability to summon shadows from any monster he kills, essentially
Stupid
becoming
fucking
a
Ornn, bro.
one-man army. Like, what the fuck?
If he's
But
gonna
it
be a
works
tank,
because
he's
the
not allowed to
world itself
fucking
is
one-shot
set
me
up for his
fucking level 4.
success. The world is a mishmash of Sword Art Online, Darker Than Black, and One Punch Man. What I like like is how modern society is built around the existence of hunters. You're not just limited to one country. A nation's entire strength is built around the strength of their hunters. S-ranked hunters are a precious resource that can dictate a country's military and political strength. Sung Jin-woo's rise isn't just something that affects the hunter's world. It's one that ripples throughout the entire world and affects the geopolitical landscape.
Oh,
And
wow,
this
that's very interesting.
just gives him more fucking moments to be badass. I don't know what to say. What I love about Solo Leveling is that it knows what it wants to be and gives you that on steroids. It ups the ante to a global scale. You've got teams from Korea, Japan, China, and of course America, who are depicted as exactly how you think Koreans would depict Americans. And I think one major aspect that can't be ignored is that the art is fucking outstanding.
That looks
The inner stories of
amazing.
mangakas working themselves to death.
I've just
doing
been looking
weekly
at the
manga
screenshots
chapters,
he's
so I
putting
don't know
in.
what kind
It
of
looks
fucking
great.
black magic the webcomic industry has cast to allow us to enjoy full colored weekly chapters that look like this.
Wow.
I mean, just look at this. This puts most manga to shame, but beyond that, he also uses its medium to its full advantage. Webcomics, as opposed to manga, are not separated via pages. It's a medium designed to be viewed on the phone that allows you to endlessly scroll down, almost like it's one continuous image. And what this means is that some of the most impressive moments are accentuated by these panels that seemingly never end. An epic depiction of a battlefield or action that flows seamlessly as you scroll down in a way that you just can't do with manga constrained by a 2-page spread. It can make the action easier to follow, or the scale of the battle seems so much more grand. I read all of Solo Leveling in a day. It's one of those series that was infinitely bingeable because after saying all this, I think I'm missing the biggest thing that contributes to this manhwa's success.
Wait, so is Gigguk just a really fast read and just binge the fuck out of it, or is there like not that much out? Because I thought there was a lot out.
Not-
I've heard what's that other one, Tower of God? Like there's so much of that to
Think,
get through.
you
Like
know-
they're calling that the Korean One Piece.
As I was writing this video, I really tried to rack my brain as to why Solo Leveling was so fucking fun and such a huge success. That way, I could end this video off with some cool, introspective moment that really nails down what makes this series so special above all its competition. But then I realized what it really does best is absolutely nothing new. So instead, I'm going to talk about Kitchen Nightmares. I fucking love Kitchen
Oh,
Nightmares.
love watching
and
these.
I don't know a single person who
Oh,
doesn't.
yeah, I
It's one
think
of
we
those
can all
shows
just
where
watch
if
these
it
for
comes
3
on
hours.
Or I see someone watching it, no matter what I'm doing, I'm just like, yeah,
For
I got
sure.
time to watch. And if you've never seen a single episode before, let me
Dude,
break
and I
it
hate
down
cooking
for you.
shows.
You open up to a struggling restaurant with a cocky owner who's just like, I have the greatest restaurant in the world. The food is perfect.
Is he actually just going on a
Perfect.
Kitchen
That's why
Nightmares
the restaurant's
tangent?
put me in $90,000 of debt. In comes Gordon Ramsay, big dick.
The best part is they ask for Gordon's help. Gordon will give them help, and they say, "No, fuck off, Gordon. Shut the fuck up, Gordon. Fuck you, Gordon. Get the fuck out of my restaurant."
Orders
You
everything
don't
on
know
the
shit,
menu.
Gordon.
Chef
Who the
gets
fuck are
order and
you?
it's like, I'm gonna cook Chef Ramsay our signature dish.
Chef Ramsay didn't like my baked potatoes.
Microwaved chicken, baby. Of course, Gordon takes one bite of the chicken, calls the waitress over, and is like, "This chicken is raw."
He's always very nice to the waiting staff.
This chicken is rawer than my dick one day after no. So he goes to the kitchen. He's like, "Oi, how are you cooking your food?" With a microwave, chef. With a microwave? Are you out of your goddamn mind? You know Chef Ramsay is coming. Why would you not cook your food on the day? Fuck, it blows my mind. So then, of course, Gordon has this inspirational talk that turns everything around. That's like, all right, shut it. I'm about to blow your minds. What if you cook the food without a microwave? So they learn to use fresh ingredients, and everyone lives happily ever after. I swear, just don't Google it because the restaurant's still probably out of business. And that's Kitchen Nightmares. Oh, that was awful, but I had way too much fun recording that. My point is that I know exactly what I'm getting into. Basically, every episode has an identical, repeatable formula, but I don't care because it's so goddamn entertaining. And if a clip appears in my timeline that shows me that the food is not bussin', you bet your ass I'm gonna click on it to see if the food's not bussin'. This
Oh,
is
for
how
sure.
I feel with Isekai and a lot of power fantasy shows. At this point, it's kind of just become my comfort food because when I look at Solo Leveling, there is not a lot different to what we usually complain about. I've seen
Well, I don't know. What got me intrigued with Solo Leveling originally was just the people who swear they're off Isekai, but they enjoy Solo Leveling to a great deal, and they say this isn't like those other Isekai. So, and that's what got me intrigued. But now Gigguk saying that it is actually a lot like those. It really is nothing
Comments
different.
referring to Sun Jin-woo being like, haha, this is how Kirito
Regardless,
is done
it's got
right.
my
And
attention
I'm
now.
just
And I'm
like,
gonna have to read
wait,
it.
what? The man is even more perfect and flawless than Kirito ever was. I mean, the guy's functionally...
Kind of regretting not picking it up
God, I
yesterday.
wish I could go from this to this. Man went from rice gum to full-on K-pop in the span of about 5 chapters. He literally looks like the 8th member of BTS. So yeah, of course Kirito's gonna lose when he's up against the literal unbeatable army Sung Jin-woo has behind him. K-pop stands. Only recently has enemies been introduced to actually pose a real threat, because before that, pretty much every story arc plays out the exact same way. The shit is almost everything everyone shits on a show like Sword Art Online for. But for some reason, whenever my brain was like, man, you know what, the story's getting kind of repetitive, Sung Jin-woo would show up and be like, arise, and then the shadows would be like, and then Sung Jin-woo would be like, shwing, and then his eyes would do the glowy thing, and then it would just start kicking ass, and then everyone else would be like, hey, isn't he meant to be an E-ranked hunter? And then my brain would be like, oh man, that was so cool. What was I talking about again? It really is just the rule of cool on crack. Its biggest strength is that it does nothing new, but what it does do is done in the best possible way you can hope for. If you have no interest in these epic power fantasy shows, then this isn't going to change your mind about them at all. But if there's just a small part of you that craves that OP protagonist beatdown, this is about as good as the genre can
I'm
get.
craving a little
It
bit of
just
an OP
works for the
protagonist
medium it's
beatdown.
in, and for anyone who's like,
Maybe
oh,
just a little
man,
bit.
I can't wait for the anime adaptation, I have 2 words for you. CG shadows. Solo leveling. Nope. I'm gonna let that one sink in for a little longer. Solo Leveling is not the 27th best manga of all time, it's not even close, but very few other webcomics get my adrenaline pumping quite like Solo Leveling does. This is power fantasy at its finest, which is perfect for isekai power fantasy trash like me, and even though it does fall victim to pretty much everything we complain about when it comes to those generic power fantasy stories, predictable and all, it is your definition of turn your brain off fun. Basically, what it boils down to is Sword Art Online. The cooler Sword Art Online.
Hey, I enjoyed Sword Art Online when I was 13. Now I'm older. I don't enjoy Sword Art Online, so it looks like this will be perfect for me.
Video. Thank you again to Tales of Luminary.
That being said, I'm
Thanks
excited
again
for the
to
new
Tales of
Sword Art
Luminary
Online
for
movie.
sponsoring me today. And also, thank you very much to Alpha Sigma, Basil, Dysfunctional Degenerate,
doing shout-outs?
Illiful, I Vito. This means I have a more stable working environment at home rather than going to the office every day like a normal person. So once I get everything set up, I'll not only keep doing the videos I'm doing, but hopefully you guys should get more streams as well. That's the plan. Don't hold me on that too strictly. Anyway, that's it from me today. No further updates. I've been Gigguk, and I'll see you all next time.
Alright, sweet. Hey, cheers for that video, Gigguk. Hey, I'm gonna go read Solo Leveling up. Maybe after this, maybe tomorrow, I don't know, but I'm definitely gonna fucking read it now. It's got my attention for sure. Hey guys, I've got more videos in the works. I'm making some videos and stuff. I can't wait to release them and so you guys can watch them. But hey, that's gonna do it for today, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you next time.